Morning, guys. So great, we have an amazing show planned for you today. On today's show, I'm answering all of your top questions, all the questions we've been getting in from Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Messenger, all of the different places that you guys follow us. There are some common themes to questions right now, so I thought let's dedicate a show to answering those questions. So if you've been asking yourself, is now really the best time to get into the travel industry and start my travel business, or is now really the best time to double down on doing things to grow my business? We're gonna answer all those questions for you today. So if you want to figure out what you should be doing, decide if now is the right time or not for you, if you wanna weigh the pros and cons, then keep on watching. We're gonna cover all of that today. Real quick, guys, if you're not already, we made a big change last month. We are doing custom content over on YouTube to help you grow and scale your travel business. So if you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell over on YouTube so you can get notified every time we have custom content. Today is a live stream, so I do these every Wednesday to connect with you guys, answer some extra questions, but we used to do our training content here in the live stream format. It's moving over to YouTube, so if you don't want to miss anything, make sure that you do that. So let's get started. Again, welcome. If this is your first time watching the show and you're like, who is this lady with this fantastic travel mug? My name is Cyndi Williams. I started in the industry over 25 years ago, and I have a huge passion for travel. At 20 years old, I had my first $1 million sales year in the industry. I have been working at marketing, growing businesses for a long time, and I own my own award-winning travel business called Tripsy Travel. So everything that I train and teach you has actually been tested in a real agency. Isn't that important when you're learning from someone? And what I do today is I also own Careers on Vacation, and I am the CEO of that company, which helps people launch, grow, and supersize travel businesses all over the world. So I always really just share one fun thing about me, one or two, which is I love fun earrings. These ones are actually from here in Austin. They're made from the same metal they make the space shuttles out of. Like a former astronaut created the company. I thought that was amazing because I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. And then I always share a fun coffee mug. This guy, you guys, I mean, and I just opened up, when I got dressed today, I was just, I don't know, yellow was on my brain. I was channeling yellow today. This is from Banana Patch Studios. This is not a sponsored post, but I love their coffee mugs. I got my first mug from them when I actually was in Kauai, and I don't know about you, a lot of us are facing cabin fever with the quarantine and not traveling as much as we're used to. So I've been having like Hawaii days and Disney days, and we're just doing these different theme days at our house, and today I woke up and it's a Hawaii day today. So I have my fun mug from Banana Patch Studios, and that's fun. So go check them out later. But let's get into today's content. What are the top questions we are getting right now about starting or growing a travel agency in this weird, crazy environment of this year? So I want to talk through all of those. So the number one question we're really getting right now is now really the right time to be starting a travel business? Some people think it's crazy. Some people think it's the perfect time. I'm going to go through, no matter if it's a travel business or not. My husband and I have owned several successful businesses, multiple six-figure businesses. And we love travel, so that's what we do 100% of the time now. But whenever we're considering a business purchase or an acquisition or starting a company, we really consider a couple key factors. So from a consultant perspective, whether you were thinking about travel or not, this is kind of the line of questioning that I think about before I would consider any business, and travel is not excluded. Yes, I'm passionate about it, so it's gonna get a pro in that box, right? But the first thing that I really think about is it a viable business? Right? Is it a business that's viable? So if we put that in the travel world and look at pre-COVID what travel was doing, it was something like an $8 trillion industry worldwide. Are you kidding me? One of the biggest industries in the world. It was outpacing healthcare and tech. So, and that's from the World Trade stats that we pulled those from. So is it Is it viable? Yes, there's a lot of money to be had. People want to travel. People are waiting to travel. Yes, there is, just like anything else, there's a down period in the market right now because things are closed. People are nervous. Some of those things are happening. That's the reality. It doesn't mean that everybody is, and we'll get to that in a second. But look at Disney. Like in the last week, did you guys hear about this? Even though Disney is down billions of dollars, their stock prices are rising, right? Because people know there's going to be a return. So is it viable for the long term? And the answer to that is yes. People are not going to stop traveling. People travel for work, for business, for pleasure, for leisure. There were a ton of studies done a few years ago that said people would rather like stop eating out than they would take away their annual vacations, right? So is it viable? Yes. And I feel like there's going to be a really, there's going to be an uptick as soon as things kind of release because people are chomping at the bit. I mean, think about, I don't know about you, but who else has 18,000 emails from school if your kids are starting school in the next few weeks? Like, parents are homeschooling, teachers are in this new environment. God bless the teachers, by the way. If you are a teacher, you work in education, kudos to you. You're amazing. Thank you for taking care of our children and navigating this new crazy world. But point being is, you know, and oh my gosh, think about healthcare across the world. Everyone's gonna be ready for a vacation, right? So is it a viable model? That's what I think about. Yes, travel's a viable model. The second thing we think about when we're assessing any business is we really look for recurring business models. What does that mean? Is this a business model where someone's gonna buy something one time and never do business with you again? Or is it a business model where it's something, if you do a good job, they're gonna come back again and again and again? This is something when we had our cleaning franchise 10 years ago, it checked the boxes. People need their house cleaned every week or every 2 weeks or whatever cadence that they like to have their house cleaned on. So it's a recurring business model. Travel is also a recurring business model. If you do a good job, people travel 1, 2, 3, sometimes more vacations a year. If you're their agent, you're going to be the one that's building that relationship, and it's a recurring business model if you do it properly. So that's a check in the yes, I like this business box, right? The next thing I look at is there a need? So this question is funny right now, right? Because some of you are on such different landscapes and people are going, there's not gonna be a need, travel's shutting down, the whole world's crashing. I'm not in that camp, as you guys know. Like we have trips booked, I'm booking trips for people, I have clients on vacation right now, so and look, there's no judgment wherever people are. You have to recognize people are in different stages with if they are ready to travel or not. Nothing wrong, and we're not going to start a debate on that today because there's different schools of thought. But is there going to be a need in this new climate? And here's what so many people aren't thinking about, but there's been major articles from Forbes, USA Today, Travel Weekly, all the big guys are talking about the importance of using a travel agent and travel advisor in this new environment. Why are they talking about this? For a couple of reasons. One, all of the crappy service that the OTAs, the large online travel agencies like Expedia, Priceline, some of those guys just shut their phones down when this whole thing happened. But the bigger thing that's even happening now, besides that new market share wanting to work with agents, is the landscape for travel has just changed overnight. It is more complicated to book travel. It is more confusing to book travel. It is frustrating to book travel in some cases. Just ask a travel agent, right? But whenever you can help someone solve a problem, you can charge them for it, right? People don't want to sit on the phone with the airlines for 2 hours, or in the case when it first happened, 7, 8 hours, right? They don't want to research what's changing with going to Hawaii every 5 minutes, right? There's so many fluid things happening in the industry right now. If someone wants to go to Hawaii or Italy or Disney or whatever, there's so much information to research through to make sure that their vacation is gonna kind of happen without a hitch. It's not just turning on your computer, booking a trip and going anymore. You can book a trip, but you have to monitor what are the updates, what's going on with world health, what's happening, you know, all of those things. That is where we shine. That is where travel agents save the day. So is there a need in terms of the next question with my little checklist? Holy crap, there's never been a bigger need. I mean, really, I've been doing this for 25 plus years. And I can tell you, because we were looking for our own trip over Hawaii for the holidays, and I was like, whoo, I gotta check a lot of things. There's a few more steps in here, even as a very skilled travel agent, right? To go, yeah, I hope clients don't, it's almost like I hope clients don't try to do this themselves, because there's so many little mistakes they could make, right? So is there a need? Yes, there's a huge need arising in the industry. So that is a good thing if you are thinking about doing this. The next thing I really want you to think about, and is always on my checklist because I am full of ideas. I'm an entrepreneur. I love new projects. I love to chase all the big shiny things. I love to research. But what I really always ask myself before I take on something new, and you should ask yourself too, do you have the time to dedicate to doing this? The beauty of this question is, 6 months ago, people were like, I don't have the time, I don't have the time. But in today's environment, a lot of you are working from home. A lot of you don't have to commute. A lot of you have a little more extra time that maybe you can dedicate it towards creating your business. So for those reasons, if I had to weigh on one side or the other, I absolutely think it's an amazing time to start a travel business. The other thing is that a lot of you don't think about, it doesn't happen like a 7-day process. I know there's like stuff out there, it's like, oh, start your business in 7 days. Like, you can turn on some logins in 7 days, sure, you can do that, but are you gonna have systems, automation, marketing plans, sales best practices, a video strategy? Are you gonna have all of that stuff set up in a few days? No, that takes time. So in order to be positioned properly in the market to take advantage of everything that's happening right now, take advantage as stuff reopens up, absolutely now is the right time. Not when it opens up, then you've missed the boat. So, the other thing I want to say is, whenever you're thinking about something new, or if you're becoming an entrepreneur for the first time, the word ready is a lie. The phrase perfect conditions is a lie. You're never gonna be 100% ready to do anything. I never have on anything that I do. I'm always like, oh, should I do this? I'm gonna go for it, right? Ready is a lie. Perfect conditions, the time is never gonna be perfect, right? So many clients 6 months ago said, oh, Cyndi, I really wanna do this, but I'm so busy with work, I'm busy with the kids, plus we have this vacation coming up. They were too busy to do it. So today, you have to decide, like, is it going to be, are you gonna tell yourself another limiting belief? Or are you going to lean into your purpose, right? So now that you have the time, didn't have time 6 months ago, now you have the time, if you're letting that, you know, is it the right time thing be the thing? Or is now the time to be leaning into travel? Don't let that become the next thing that stops you from the thing that you want to do, right? If this is real, that's the other thing too. Whenever I start about a business, never start a business that you're not super passionate about, right? I've done that. I can tell you from past history. I started businesses that were successful, but they almost killed me, right? Because it was like so much work. I wasn't passionate. I started to hate it when I woke up every day. But travel, for me, whatever your thing is, right? Are you passionate about what you're gonna be doing every day? So if you are, that passion's not gonna go away. That little voice that taps you on the shoulder that says, why haven't you done this yet? Why aren't you doing this? When is enough enough? You know, that whole thing. Whatever those things are that are tapping you on the shoulder, they're not gonna go away. The sooner you get started, the sooner you are going to have success. And here's the reality. You're gonna get the things done that matter most to you. So if you lean in and decide and make a decision to do it, you're gonna get it done. Did you eat dinner last night? Did you take a shower yesterday? Did you make sure your kids got to school? Yeah, because that crap matters. So if it means enough to you and you make that decision, you're gonna get it done, okay? So that's my little encouragement on if answering the question, is it really the right time to be starting a travel business? I think it's an exceptional time. So quick quiz though. Tell me below, what do you feel like is the #1 personal like roadblock standing in your way? Is it mindset? Is it that you just don't know how to do it? Is it marketing? Is it sales? Is it overwhelm in the industry? Is it not knowing where to get started? I don't know what your roadblock might be. Whenever you're starting a new business, there's little things that can stop you. And as an entrepreneur, I always like to say, how do we get around it, over it, under it, by it, right? Entrepreneurs don't get stopped by roadblocks. They figure out a way around. But just tell me, I'm gonna go back and read below in both YouTube and Facebook. I'm gonna read every single comment. But tell me what you feel like your roadblock is. And we'll get into, let's get into question number 2. Should I leave my host? Ooh, what a taboo subject. The hosts hate when I talk about this. They don't love when I talk about it. You guys know I am not loyal to any particular host. I think hosting can be a good thing if you're with the right host, especially when you're new. But my end game for the clients that I work with is that they're really going independent eventually, meaning you're going to get 100% of your commission, meaning maybe you're going to grow your own team. You're going to have a really unique brand that you're proud of that's not under someone else's umbrella. So a lot of you, if you're in that experience camp, maybe you're sitting back going, oh my gosh, I had a lot of people cancel during this segment of time where the travel bans were on and people weren't traveling. Is it the time to make this shift and maybe go independent? So that's a big question, and the answer is not the same for everybody. It's gonna depend on a couple different factors I want you to think about. So if you're hosting today and you've had, I would say, at least a few $100,000 in sales in your career, and you're not depending on calling the host help desk on a regular basis, you go through either the vendors or you're self-directed in finding information, you know where to get answers. If you can say yes to those 2 questions, then potentially it could be time to be preparing to leave your host. And maybe exactly the right time, because if you don't have a bunch of commissions at risk on the books, keep in mind every single host has a different hiring agreement. This is something that we coach people on ad nauseum in Careers on Vacation in our mastermind program, because picking the right setup can set you up for huge failure, or it can set you up for success, or it can set you up for just a solid relationship until you're ready to go independent. So check your contracts. I do believe that you should, go by that contract that you signed, and whatever you signed, be accountable to that. So you want to check that, because some of them do have restrictions in there, but a lot of them don't, which is great. And you could be getting your infrastructure in place to get ready to transition away from your host and into your own business. So that's stuff we help you with in Careers on Vacation. If you're looking to go down that road, I could create a 5-hour seminar on that. But if you're thinking about it, I think your instincts are good if you're ready. If you have some decent sales under your belt, if you feel self-directed, you're not going to your host for a million questions, if you're ready to create your own custom brand, it's a good time, because you can, when as the market's recovering, we're already making sales, right? You could be booking those sales under your agency, and there's a lot of perks that come with having your own agency. 1, 100% commission, but 2, you have invitations that can happen. You can now create a team if you want to, and you can support them in their growth, and that helps. That's a whole nother revenue stream for you coming in if you're thinking about building a team. So if that's on your heart and you're thinking about it, I think it's actually a good time if you're ready. And it's if you're ready is the question, right? All right, let's go to the next question. We're getting a ton of, especially from you experienced agents. What can I do to save 2020? All of you took a big hit second and into third quarter on, a lot of you had $1 million on the books this year for sales, and then Disney closed it. People can't even go on their trips if they wanted to go, right? Or the travel bans came in. If you're international, your business was definitely impacted. So what can I do to save 2020? And I'm gonna give you the tangible things that we've been working on that are already generating amazing sales in our agency and that are already in place to have this uptick that's happening going into third and fourth quarter. What are the things you can do? Number one, you need to get your marketing systems in place. This is something, as a lifelong lover of marketing, super marketing nerd. I know I'm a nerd when it comes to marketing, but I just freaking love marketing because it is the superpower that keeps your business growing, and through this keeps it alive, if you will. we never stopped marketing the whole time. Did we shift our message? Of course we did. Of course we're cognizant of what's going on in the world. That doesn't mean you stop building relationships. That doesn't mean you stop engaging your audience. That doesn't mean you stop keeping your audience warm. So we never stopped cultivating this amazing base that we built through all of our marketing systems that have taken us years and years to build, right? But what can you do now if you did stop? You need to boot back your marketing, right? So you need to kind of reboot that process, get your marketing systems in place. If you haven't done real marketing before, you need to spend some time learning about marketing. If you have extra time right now, like the free certifications you can get out in the industry are gonna be there. They're not going anywhere. That's great if you have extra time and you're doing those. But the difference between, there's like learning without earning mode. That's how I see, like, you can take 1 million certifications on Tahiti and Bora Bora and Italy and you know, Japan or whatever you wanna learn about. But if you don't have clients to sell that stuff to, you have knowledge, but you don't have profits. So how do you connect the dots on that? Put your learning time into learning marketing systems, okay? The marketing that works and converts in our industry. Yes, I know this is stuff we train you in Careers on Vacation, but even if you're not using Careers on Vacation, learn more about marketing. That is learning while earning. You can learn something about marketing today. You could go implement tomorrow and make a sale, okay? Where else can you be spending your time to help with 2020? Automation. If you've been trying to automate your agency, if you're a larger agency or you have a lot of agents that work for you, like, how can you make their lives easier through automation? Things like scheduling, best practices, client flow, all of those things that happen. Your marketing systems is part of automation too. How, even right down to like how you designate leads in your agency, how you pay commissions, your payroll. There's a million things you can look at if you're a larger agency that it's a perfect time to automate because there's less activity in your system. So you have time to test and calibrate. And then as things are getting a little bit bigger every single month, it'll be so much better. You'll be saving so much time. Automation is the thing that gets you your life back. So I'm a huge fan of automation. And I mentioned best practices. That's another thing. What's your best practice for sales? What's your best practice for cultivating a recurring client model? We talked about that at the top of the call, right? Like having that recurring model. What is your best practice to cultivate that in your business? Do you even have one? Have you thought about it before? And guys, don't get overwhelmed if these are the first time you're hearing these things. That's okay. A lot of times that happens. When I'm getting questions on how I saved 2020, it's for that experience group that obviously has been there. They're ready for these kind of techniques. The other thing is to think about is a video strategy. Have you thought about video strategy? I know this is like the hot buzzword right now and everyone's video strategy this, video strategy that. We've been training video strategy for years. This is nothing new. We're Careers on Vacation. If you've been in our mastermind programs, you know this. We have a video challenge that happens. But having a video strategy is so inexpensive. It can cost your business $0 to implement it once you have best practice in place, and nothing converts faster than a solid video strategy. So you should be thinking about how to start with that with if it's a new travel business, I don't care if it's brand new, or if you're experienced and you just haven't done it yet, it might be one of those things you could dive into that could get you instant or overnight results. And this is such a good example because we have one of the trends, I said this last week on the live stream, that I've been seeing is veteran agents are getting outpaced in some cases by brand new agents just because they know how to market and reach the market share better, and because they're employing great video strategy. So even though they haven't worked in the industry for a bazillion years, they're still employing expert positioning techniques. They're still able to reach the market. So they're making sales. Now, why is that happening? You'd say, well, if you have a veteran agent, why wouldn't they be making the sales? Well, a lot of times, and I know this too, like we have a solid core base that books and rebooks travel, but if you serve an audience that is not traveling right now, or primarily you have a large quantity of people in your database that are in that camp where they're not feeling like traveling in 2020, then all of a sudden your leads did dry up. Holy crap, what do? You haven't had to go out and fish for leads for years because you did such a great job of building your recurring business model off of referrals. But that's gone. It's gone if you have that certain base. So that's why some of the veteran agents are coming to us now going, oh my gosh, Cyndi, teach me this stuff. I need fresh leads in my business. I need to be booking sales. Here's the good news for you guys. No one has to teach you how to sell. No one has to teach you how to book a trip. You just need to connect the dots on marketing, implementing marketing systems, and then you have fresh blood coming into your business, and it will feel better overnight, I promise. So for you veterans out there, if you're in that space, I understand, I hear you. I see the frustration on the feeds, and kudos to you for building an amazing, resilient business. Once you get some of these travelers though that are traveling right now, they're gonna become part of that amazing business too, and you're going to be better for it, so don't give up. So guys, I hope these questions were helpful for you. If you've been thinking about, you know, launching or growing your travel business, if you're one of those veteran agents that you're like, Cyndi, show me the way, or you are thinking about starting an agency and you want to make sure you do it the right way from the beginning, think about applying for Careers on Vacation. If you haven't heard of Careers on Vacation, it is my 12-week mastermind program. It's my signature program, and it teaches you all of the stuff in detail, what we talked about today, how to optimize your social media, how to get best practices in place, how to have that recurring business model, how to set up your marketing systems, all of that stuff. Careers on Vacation is also ASTA affiliated. ASTA is the American Society of Travel Advisors, and we are an affiliated travel school with them. And the big difference, guys, about my program compared to anything else out there is you get access to my personal team of experts, my Facebook person, my messaging person, my branding person. You get to work with them, the same team that took my business from multiple 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month. That's the team you get to work with. And every single one of my coaches and mentors that works with you side by side in the program actually works in a travel business or owns their own travel business. So these are industry veterans you get to work with whenever you're in our program too. The curriculum is completely self-paced. So if your kids are doing homeschool, you can be doing classes or you can do it on your time, but you have hands-on support as well. So if you're curious about it or if that resonates with you, definitely go over to YouTube and check out our 75 plus case studies. And right now during COVID, we're filming 1 to 2 case studies a week, guys, of people who are in the program right now, having success right now. I had someone post in our graduates group yesterday, holy crap, I've had $70,000 in sales since I graduated in June. Right now in COVID. So is it possible? Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. People just like you are doing it every day. We have nurses in the program, teachers in the program, insurance agents in the program. We have people coming from other industries. We have travel agents who worked under a brick and mortar that has them laid off right now. So they're taking that time to start their own business. So wherever you are in your journey, if it's a fit, go to careersonvacation.com/ready now, and you can apply and see if you can grab one of our fall spots for enrollment. And guys, I hope this was helpful for you. I'm gonna go back and read all the comments in just a little bit. I respond to all of those over on Facebook and YouTube. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. We are here for you. I will be back next week. I wish you guys so much love, so much success. I wish you the world. Bye, guys. Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out my other content to help you grow and scale your very own travel business. And also, I invite you to travel around the world with me and find out what I'm doing in my portable, profitable, award-winning travel business. Check out the videos.